name is Joyce Anastasia, and I'm a transformational leadership consultant. I recently wrote the book Extraordinary Leadership During Extraordinary Times, addressing 7 vital keys to help us lead by greater wisdom. As we enter this new year, it's even more critical that we address vital key number 4, honoring uniqueness within the whole. For those of you who have not yet worked with me, I'd like to share the context of this video. As I worked with and interviewed many leaders over the last decade, I developed an integrative and effective approach to leadership and power. Keeping open to new innovations, I attended a very unique and valuable conference called Sports, Energy, and Consciousness. What jazzed me about this conference was that it addressed our highest potential, integrating body, mind, emotion, and spirit. And through my full participation in this conference, I had the incredible opportunity to interview Pete Carroll, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, about his integrative approach toward leadership, uniqueness, and our highest potential. I hope that you enjoy this free content and take the wisdom of his words into your life. So you talk about the uniqueness of your players and reaching their highest potential. What would you say about you? What is your uniqueness and your highest potential?
I don't know that. I'm a competitor, and that really was a liberating thought when I finally got to it. It was so simple that you'd think you'd figure that out earlier, but it took me a long time to get to that. But and then I built everything in the program around competing. So for me to reach my heights, I have to be extraordinarily on point. I have to be a great observer. I've got to see things before they happen if I can, and anticipate and help people along the way to avoid the setbacks. And so I've got to be on it. With that, we're a very high energy program, and I can't expect others to go any higher than I can go. So I hold myself responsible for setting the tempo. And in that, I've got to have a good attitude every day, and I've got to be upbeat, and I've got to be energetic, and I've got to be in shape enough that I can move and do what I have to do to get that done, and then ask the coaches around me to do that too. So that's when I think I'm functioning best is when I'm really not worried about any of that stuff, and I'm just rolling and going with it. And to do that, I have to really trust my instincts and trust that I'll do the right thing at the right time and respond the right way, which isn't the case. We mess up all the time, but for the most part, we stay on point a lot more than we don't.
What have been some of your most challenging moments as a coach?
The most challenging thing, I think, is to help players stay on course with what they're capable of doing. That's the biggest challenge is to stay connected and so that you can communicate with them well enough so that you can keep making progress, because they fall off a lot and they set back and which we all do, and respond how we respond to that effectively so that we don't misstep the next time, and miss an opportunity to win for a month or a couple of weeks or whatever it is while you're bouncing back. I think that's the greatest challenge, and because to me that takes everything to keep everybody on point, and it's everyone. It's the coaches, and it's the players, and it's the people that support us, and it's the fans, and that's the challenge, to keep us all moving forward where we can function at a really high level above what other people are able to attain.
Yeah. So not getting thrown off by things that are out there despite.
Yeah. That's the discipline that we talk about, of focusing on that which you can control. We have to really work at that, because it just gets away from you in an instant. You hear a report, or there's something on the TV, or there's something that occurred, or there's history that could affect your thinking and all that. And you really have to work to be disciplined, that you focus on that which is right in front of you, what you can control. So we practice focusing on things all the time to just get used to it, get used to lasering in, and being able to, there's garbage going on around us, and bam, we can come right back to what we need to get on, so that we can develop that skill. I think it's good. I'm considered a skill to be able to connect with your brain that allows you to get right back on point again, and hopefully not fall off enough where you really suffer and you don't perform like you're capable.
We talked a little bit last night about this notion of the kind of superstar scenario, the hero fallen, the hero back again. Could you talk a little bit about that, both in terms of the real difficulties of that, but also the miraculous moments associated with it?
Yeah, well, that's just it's all natural stuff that happens. Things come to you because you're successful, and things come to you when you're not successful, and sometimes they weigh just as heavily on both ends of it. And it's being able to put them in a proper place, maintain the balance, so that you can stay on point, and simply coming back to just performing like you're capable, and not letting things affect you. And there's so much media, and there's so much. It's just a confluence of things coming from all directions that affect guys, and they have to deal with it. So part of that is preparing them. Part of that is helping them see it coming and help them get through it and find their way out of it, and not get attracted to stuff that's going to wind up being big distractions. I mean, it's just all part of the training, the ability to find yourself in extraordinary moments and feel normal is really the challenge. That's the idea. Is you get to a point where you win world championships and it's okay. It's not the big deal. It's not. Championships are what you expect to do because you work hard, you prepare properly, you pour your heart and soul into it, and so that when you get there, it doesn't throw you off course. And that's the challenge, to maintain a really high level of consistency over a long period of time, which to me is the greatest accomplishment. And it's not winning the championship; it's how long you can stay on top, and that's the challenge that you're talking about, and that's it's dealing with life, dealing with whatever, and then making proper choices and decisions so that you can stay on course being you as an individual and as a team.
Yeah. Thank you, Pete, for participating in the conference, for your hands-on perspective on leadership, and your approaches to access our highest potential.